sitting here with head baseball coach Kenny Thomas. It's always baseball season for you, but you know, it's getting exciting. Players are almost here. College baseball's getting riled up. How excited are you?
Oh, I'm probably more excited this year than I've been in a long time. You know, it's well documented that we had a good year last year, but didn't come out at the end like we wanted. So it's just kind of added a little more intensity to it, and we're ready to go. You know, I always tell my wife, when Christmas Day hits, it's baseball season. You know, baseball just about, the World Series now, Major League Baseball is going into November. We start practicing January, start back practicing January. So we only have 1 month of the year that we got to get covered there, so baseball will go year round.
Well, I can even take you there. I mean, you add in like the Venezuelan World Series and all that. Baseball's year round.
So that's what you want. But we are excited. It's a great time for us, and January 10th is always our start day, and golly, it's 2 days away now. We're ready to go.
All right. Come back, knowing you got a preseason ranking of number 10 in the country. What are you going to do to live up to that expectations over the next few weeks as you begin practice?
Well, you know, I think you could ask Southern Cal right now about a preseason ranking because it didn't work out too swift for them in football. But you know, preseason ranking is great, and we certainly want to be preseason ranked. But again, as everybody knows, it's what happens at the end of the year. The one positive that I see with our team this year, this has been some of the best chemistry of any team I've ever had, and they take things in stride better than any team I've ever had. I think we have maybe the best senior leadership that we've had here in a long time. So, you know, I expect the guys to be proud that we're preseason ranked here, but I don't expect them to really take it anything else. You know, just take it for what it is, and let's move on. Again, there's a little extra motivation this year, and our guys worked so hard in the fall. I mean, it was great fall practice. So we got to take one day at a time, and right now we've got about 18 practices before opening day, and that's not very many.
No.
And you know, so it'll be here before we know it. And Lincoln Memorial, as you well know, they always play us tough. I don't know. We bring the best out in them. So, you know, what we need to do is let them bring the best out in us this year. So, but it's exciting, and we're ready to go.
What are you expecting from the Peach Belt Conference? I know it's always one of the best conferences in the country in college baseball. Is this year any different?
I don't see it any different. You know, I think probably, you know, I wasn't sure when the preseason rankings came out where we would be. I'm still not sure what our Peach Belt coaches are gonna vote us. Obviously, we lost Carmen, and which was a great player. We lost Arenas, who was a great player, and you know, but I think when they stop and look and they start thinking about polls, they probably look at those 3 weekend starters that we have back, and evidently somebody's done a little bit of homework. So, you know, I think the Peach Belt, I look for us to be right in the middle there, or toward the top a little bit on the preseason things, and then I look for us to have battles every week. You know, our first Peach Belt weekend.
Huge.
Is Francis Marion here the last weekend of February. I don't guess you could have scripted any better, and that's going to be a big weekend, and we got 9 games before that, and hopefully we can figure, while we hopefully winning some games, we'll be figuring out some things and getting prepared for that weekend. But they're all good, you know. Every team is good, and you know, especially when you go on the road in this conference, it's just, I mean, golly, it's unbelievable. So I expect the same old.
Well, just yesterday we found out that you have a preseason All-American catcher, and you talked about your 3 weekend start. How important is that to have a battery like that, and to have, you know, you got 6 or 7 returning starters? You know, how important is it to have such leadership? Well,
it's tremendous, and you know, it's always a positive to have a guy like Josh Miller, preseason All-American catcher. And you know, and one positive this year, we're not going to have to catch him as much as we did last year. Last year, down the stretch, he really got tired. I think it affected his offense a little bit down the stretch. You know, we've got 2 other catchers this year that can really play, so that's going to help us a lot. I think that the biggest thing, having a 4-year guy that's been here, started for 4 years. He's a leader. He's a leader on the team. But being a catcher even adds a little more to that, because when you're a leader, any leader is good. But when you're behind that plate, you're a leader. It's really good. But you know, Josh is going to play a little bit in the outfield too. So because we do have some other quality catchers, and we're not going to run him out there and beat him down like we did last year. So.
Well, I always like to ask this question. It's kind of hard to answer at this time, but you know, when the season gets near its end, when you get to the Peach Belt tournament, what do you expect your team to be?
Well, I expect us to be in first place. Yeah. That's what I expect. I mean, you know, it's kind of weird. Like they send these things out. They send these things out, and they want you to. This is a regional thing. They want you to vote where you think everybody's going to finish. Well, heck, if I didn't think I was going to finish first, why would I be out there? I've never understood that. If I'm going to walk out on that field every day and practice and recruit and everything else, I expect to be first. So, but I mean, I think we'll see how it all plays out. But I think we're gonna be in the mix for sure. I mean, it's by far the best pitching we've ever had here at USC Aiken, and we're gonna build our team around pitching. That's what it's gonna be about. You know, you better play defense if you want to play, because our team is going to be built around our pitching staff, and it's deeper than it's ever been. It's better than it's ever been. So we intend on using those guys. I mean, there's going to be 14 or 15 guys that we use consistently on the mound. So we're not going to run that starter out there and leave him. You know, we're going to use what we have, and so. But I expect us to be in the mix. Who knows? You know, I mean. I expect us to be first. I mean, heck, why not? I don't expect us to be last. That's for sure. And but you know, you can't do it on paper. You got to do it on the field. So.
Well, thank you for your time. I know I'm looking forward to February 1st.
Golly, I'm sitting on go, man. I'm sitting on go.